Hello and welcome to the Cristina Kiss Astrology channel, where we explore the cosmic blueprint of your life through astrology. My name is Cristina Kiss, and if you're ready to decode planetary influences, uncover your soul's lessons, and align with your true purpose, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's astrological insights. So today we're going to dive deeper into Mercury retrograde in Leo. And whether you're brand new to astrology or already fluent in the languages of the stars, there's something in this video for you. This is video number 3 in the Mercury retrograde series, and I'll leave a link to the other two below. The first part walks you through a general theme of Mercury retrograde in Leo, and the second part is where we break down what to do and what not to do during this retrograde. Each video builds on the last. So I highly recommend watching all 3 videos for the full picture. Now in this video, we're going to go from beginner friendly to more advanced territory. And then I'll show you how this specific retrograde is playing out in my own 10th house as Mercury crosses over my Leo midheaven. This video is going to have 4 parts. In part 1, we're going to discuss what is Mercury in astrology. Part 2, we're going to discuss what happens when Mercury enters Leo. So this is when Mercury goes direct again. In part 3, we're going to discuss what happens when Mercury enters retrograde in Leo. And in part 4, we're going to discuss what this transit means when it comes through the 10th house and conjuncting the MC. If this is your placement too, I highly recommend you watch this. So let's get into it. Part 1. What is Mercury in astrology? Where Mercury is the planet of communication, thought, learning, language, logic, memory, technology, and movement. It governs how we speak, how we process information, how we make decisions, and how we relate mentally to others and the world around us. Mercury is the planet of Virgo and Gemini. So we're going to go ahead and discuss Mercury from both perspectives. Here's Mercury from the perspective of Gemini. Now, Gemini is an air sign and it's mutable. Gemini is Mercury's masculine, expressive, and external rulership. Mercury in Gemini is curious, fast-talking, witty, playful, and a gatherer of fact. Think of the messenger on roller skate. He's always moving, always collecting data and making connections. It thrives in social settings, thrives on variety, and values quick thinking over depth. In the Gemini sense, Mercury is about exchange, stimulation, ideas, and articulation. Some of the key traits is verbal agility, playful intellect, surface level exploration, social media, conversation, and humor. Now, Mercury from a Virgo perspective, now Virgo is an earth sign and mutable. So Virgo is Mercury's feminine, internal, analytical rulership. Mercury in Virgo is focused, precise, logical, and oriented towards practical application of knowledge. Think of the scribe, the editor, the healer, someone who takes divine chaos and makes it digestible. It's not just about words, it's about the meaning and refinement behind them. In Virgo, Mercury governs discernment, routines, health, the nervous system, and sacred details. Now, some key traits: critical thinking, mastery through repetition, embodiment through analysis, and organizing and purifying thought. Part 2. What happens when Mercury enters Leo? So first of all, let's discuss what is the Leo energy. So Leo is a fixed sign and it's a fire sign. It's ruled by the sun, and Leo governs the heart, creativity, leadership, pride, and expression. Leo wants to be seen, celebrated, and adored. It wants to express itself unapologetically. It wants to lead through the power of presence. It wants to create from a place of joy, truth, and inner radiance. Key traits for Leos: playful, bold, confident, dramatic, loving, loyal, regal, and expressive. Here's the shadow side of Leo: arrogant, attention-seeking, fragile ego, performance over authenticity. Now, Mercury in Leo has the energy of the cosmic storyteller that has entered the stage. The transit dates are from June 27th until September 2nd of 2025. The key traits for this transit is bold communication, dramatic ideas, confident self-expression, storytelling, leadership in voice. When Mercury, the planet of communication, learning, thinking, and perception, moves into Leo, the fiery sign of the performer, the sovereign, the storyteller, and the heart-led leader, everything gets turned up a notch in intensity, volume, and flair. This isn't a quiet behind the scenes Mercury. This is the motivational speaker. This is the TED Talk energy. This is the friend who tells you a story so vivid that you forget that it's not yours. You'll feel a collective shift towards speaking with inspiration and conviction, telling stories that uplift and inspire, wanting to be heard, seen, and celebrated, using voice as a tool for leadership and transformation. How does this Mercury in Leo affect our thought patterns? Well, ideas become big picture, expressive, and bold. You crave recognition for your mind, your voice, or creative insight. Mental energy centers around legacy, impact, and present. There may be a strong resistance to criticism. Pride in your intellect or ideas can run high. A desire to say something meaningful, not just smart. Here are some common thought loops. I want to say something that matters. Do they see how powerful or creative I am? I need to speak up. People need to know. If I say it with enough flair, they'll believe it. Now, how could this Mercury in Leo, when it goes direct, how can it show up in relationships? Well, words of affirmation hit deeper. Love is expressed in bolder, more theatrical ways. You may flirt more playfully or speak more passionately about your feelings. Conflicts may become dramatic, especially if someone feels unseen or unappreciated. Now, the low road of this is that pride blocks communication. I'm not saying sorry first. Miscommunication turns into a stage performance. Now, how it could show up in your career when Mercury goes direct again in Leo. Incredible time for public speaking, presentations, and creative launches. Perfect for rewriting bios, resumes, or content with more magnetism. You'll feel called to lead through words, pitch bold ideas, or take up space with your message. Visibility is craved. For example, don't just hire me, celebrate me. Now, we're going to look at the high road versus the low road of Mercury in Leo when it is direct. So the high road is the bold, the heart-centered communication. It's the empowering others through language. It's speaking truth from vision, not performance. It's inspiring through storytelling and presence. And the low road is ego-driven speech. I need to be right. Talking over others to feel superior. Over-explaining theatrical exaggeration. Taking criticism too personally. Now, here's what to do when Mercury goes direct again in Leo. Speak your truth from your heart. Record videos, write content, or share your story. Compliment others sincerely. Update your about page, pitch deck, or creative brand voice. Say what you've been too scared to say. This is your permission to be louder, bolder, and be seen, not as a character, but as a living transformation of your truth. What not to do when Mercury goes direct in Leo. Don't dominate conversations or steamroll others to feel more powerful. Don't seek external validation for every idea. Don't use exaggeration to manipulate. Authenticity lands better than theatrics. Don't go silent out of pride. Vulnerability is more powerful than perfection. Here's something to ponder on. Where am I hiding my true voice because I'm afraid of being too much? Mercury in Leo isn't asking for perfection. It's asking for presence. Your mind is meant to shine, not shrink. Part 3. What happens when Mercury retrogrades in Leo? First of all, what is a Mercury retrograde to begin with? Let's look at what a retrograde is. A retrograde is an optical illusion where a planet appears to move backwards. And in this case, we're talking about Mercury. So Mercury appears to move backwards. Now, Mercury retrograde specifically happens 3 to 4 times a year. And it's associated with delays, miscommunications, tech glitches, travel issues, revisiting the past. Now, from a spirituality standpoint, this is not a punishment. It's a time for you to pause. It invites reflection, recalibration, and internal alignment before moving forward again. Whenever a planet goes retrograde, that means that you're going to go over or reevaluate certain parts of your life so far. In this case, it would be in whatever house Leo lands in your birth chart. And if you don't have a birth chart, you can go ahead in the link description down below. There is a video that is going to teach you how to create your own free birth chart. Mercury retrograde in Leo specifically invites you to rewrite the voice of your legacy. The pre-shadow retrograde phase begins on July 3rd and lasts up until July 16th. The retrograde phase is from July 17th until August 11th. And the post-retrograde phase is from August 12th until August 25th of 2025. Here are some core themes of this retrograde. Rethinking how you express confidence, leadership, and visibility. Rewriting the narrative you tell yourself about your work. Revisiting old creative ideas, messages, or unfinished performances. Reclaiming your authentic voice versus performing for approval. This retrograde is not here to silence you, it's here to help refine your frequency. Here are some thought patterns that you might find yourself in. Why didn't I speak up before? Did I really mean what I said? Do people even care what I think? Is it really me or just what I thought I needed to say to be accepted? Am I speaking from soul or from survival? Here are some relationship predictions. Past lovers or creative collaborations may return, either for closure, clarity, or reunion. Miscommunications around praise, recognitions, or affections could happen. Emotional wounds around feeling unseen, unappreciated, or misunderstood may surface. Deep healing becomes possible around expressing needs, offering apologies, or receiving love. Here are some career and visibility predictions. A chance to rework your message, branding, or visibility strategy. Old content may get repurposed or even gain traction again. You may feel pulled to speak less, but with more truth and soul. Visibility may slow down, not as a punishment, but as energetic recalibration. Here's the high road versus the low road of Mercury retrograde in Leo. The high road is owning your story and rewriting the script, reconnecting with your inner child's voice, apologizing or expressing truth with courage, revisiting old creative ideas with new eyes. Now here's the low road. Regressing into old drama loops, lashing out when feeling ignored or unseen, ghosting instead of clarifying emotional needs, inflated ego disguised as confidence. Here are some things that you can do during this Mercury retrograde in Leo. Revisit old posts, sales pages, or videos and refine them. Speak from your lived truth, not what sounds marketable. Journal on this prompt. What message have I been scared to share? Reconnect with the version of you who used to speak freely and joyfully. Reorganize funnels, offers, and copy to align with your current embodiment. Clean up your backend system, nurture sequences, automations, or calls to action. Pause flashy launches and instead refine what already exists. Revisit unfinished projects. The gold is already there. Ask yourself this: what part of my message feels performative? Let feedback, even uncomfortable, show where you're still seeking approval. Embrace quiet pivots. The small shifts are quantum realignment. Trust the inner pause. It's recalibration, not rejection. Here are some things not to do during this Mercury retrograde in Leo. Don't rush into new messaging or full rebrands. Wait until Mercury goes direct. Don't post out of see me energy. Leo wounds may get loud. Don't copy others' voices. This retrograde will crack anything inauthentic. Don't ignore the call to edit. Virgo is asking you to refine. Here are some tech and strategy traps. Don't ignore the call to edit. Virgo is asking you to refine. Avoid launching brand new automated systems without deep testing. Don't ghost your audience. Instead, clarify your communication. If your backend is disorganized, fix it. Clarity is conversation. Don't spiral into, oh my God, nobody's watching. This is a rewiring phase, not a failure. Don't take every delay personally. Mercury retrograde affects timing, not your worth. Don't avoid refinement because it's too boring. Virgo heals through details. Don't confuse silence with failure. Sometimes silence means integration. Part 4. What this transit means when it moves through the 10th house and conjuncts the midheaven. First of all, what is Capricorn or the 10th house? So Capricorn is an earth sign and a cardinal sign. It is ruled by Saturn, and Capricorn governs ambition, structure, discipline, legacy, and long-term goals. Capricorn wants to build something that lasts, climb to the top slowly, steadily, strategically. Be respected for its work, wisdom, and resilience. Create solid foundations through responsibility and integrity. Here are some key traits of Capricorn or the 10th house. Grounded, ambitious, disciplined, wise, strategic, mature, and patient. Here is the shadow side of Capricorn or the 10th house. Cold, overly rigid, status obsessed, and workaholic. The 10th house is your legacy, your public reputation, your career path, and the mark you're here to leave on the world. It's the peak of your chart where your purpose becomes visible. Remember that Mercury also rules Virgo. So let's look at what this aspect activates through the Leo transit. Now, Mercury isn't just about drama and creativity. So Leo is the drama and creativity. It's also the editor, the analyst, and the ritualist, which is the Virgo side. So when Mercury goes retrograde in a fire sign and it's ruled by the earth sign, you get this powerful combination of expressing yourself boldly through the Leo side and refining with precision, which is the Virgo side. So how does Virgo Mercury show up during this retrograde? Well, you'll spot micro flaws in your content. The Virgo part of Mercury will make you obsessed with improving your spelling, your formatting, your call to action flow, your emotional logic, the messaging that no longer feels grounded or accurate, and visuals that don't fully match the frequency of your words anymore. You might find yourself thinking, this part doesn't feel quite me anymore. This section doesn't build trust the way it could. The words are right, but the energy is off. That's Virgo Mercury whispering through the Leo stage mic. Another thing you might notice is that you want to better your systems behind the show. While Leo wants to be seen, Virgo wants to refine and create precision in your systems. So this might look like revisiting your automation sequences to make sure that they emotionally land. Reworking your video scripts to guide the client's nervous system more smoothly. Fine-tuning your pixels, tags, or ad tracking so you're not just visible, but you're converting as well. Rewriting your offer stack to create logical and emotional harmony. And this is going to demand inner integrity. Mercury rules Virgo obsession with alignment and authenticity through small, exact details. So even if your Leo MC is ready to go big, Virgo whispers only if it's true, only if it's integrated, only if the back end matches the front. In other words, you'll feel a spiritual gag reflex around anything that's performative but hollow, flashy but ungrounded, soulful but sloppy. Here's how Mercury transiting my 10th house and Leo midheaven might look like. And if you have this placement in your chart, I highly recommend that you watch till the end of the video. Now, if you don't know if you have a Leo midheaven, there is a video down below that is going to teach you step by step how to get your own free birth chart. So I highly recommend you pause here, go ahead, do that, see if you have a Leo midheaven. Now, the big picture here is that the 10th house is your career, your public reputation, your visibility, your legacy, and authority. And the midheaven at 1 degree, specifically for me, is the absolute peak of my chart. And it's my public headline. Now, it doesn't matter at what degree you have your MC Leo. it's going to be the same for you. When Mercury crosses the Leo midheaven and moves through the 10th house, the cosmos is basically saying the world needs to hear your voice loudly, boldly, authentically right now. If you have the same combination of Mercury and Leo in the 10th house, here are some tips for you as well. Speak your way into legacy. Create a brand voice no one can ignore. Let your ideas lead. Own your stage. This transit supercharges messaging in business and public platforms. So if you want to start running ads, this is a very good time to do that. To start prepping, and then when Mercury goes direct, launch those ads. It's going to help you copywriting, speaking, content creation, sales language. It's going to help with launches that use personality, humor, drama, and storytelling. Getting noticed for how you think, write, or communicate. Getting bold ideas seen by the right audience. For example, I launched a dramatic anti-testimonial ad when Mercury entered Leo. That's textbook Mercury in Leo in my 10th house when it was direct. And I am literally flipping the expectations. Leo loves surprises. Performing a truth. Mercury's the message, Leo's the theater. Leading with originality. The 10th house is the public identity, claiming space without waiting for permission. And this is not just clever, it's actually astrologically activated. Mercury conjunct my midheaven at 1 degree in Leo exactly. So if you have the 1 degree in Leo exactly midheaven, you want to pay attention to this. This only happens once a year, and this degree is your personal spotlight. When a planet crosses the midheaven, it's like a celestial press conference. It's like, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, watch me now. Now, if you have your Leo midheaven at 0, 1, or 2 degrees, this is also going to put you on the public stage. Not only the people around you that you know you're going to get out of your shell, but also putting yourself on a public stage. And this is why I started to run Facebook ads when Mercury crossed my Leo midheaven at 1 degrees. And I knew that because I know my astrological birth chart and I knew what was going on and where the energies were pushing me. And I'm like, okay, this is this, this is this, this is this. So I understood that. So because it's Mercury, it specifically highlights your public message, your brand voice, how your ideas travel, invitations, interviews, attention, or momentum in business. Here's what to watch out for. Don't shrink if others don't get it right away. Leo MCs are ahead of the curve. Avoid burnout from performing too much. If your message is centered in truth, you're not going to be burnt out. Stay flexible. Mercury is quicksilver, and your ideas may evolve rapidly during this time. Here are some best practices during this transit. Say what others are afraid to say. Your career thrives on bold truth. Pitch, promote, and publish, especially things that carry your actual voice. Film content, schedule interviews, or update your About section or sales pages. Use storytelling or satire. Leo loves emotional engagement. Track responses to your messages. Mercury gives a valuable market feedback now. Here's something to ponder on. If the world finally leaned in and asked me what I really think, would I be brave enough to answer? And for me, that answer would be yes, because I'm already doing it with the content that I put out and also content like this. Also, remember that this is not a time to panic. It's a powerful repositioning window. And here's what's being activated. First of all, your public voice gets a reboot. This is a reevaluation of how you speak publicly, how your brand or business is being perceived, what your message is truly saying underneath the words. Here's how it might show up for you. Rewriting sales pages, ads, bios, or your elevator pitch. You might realize that your internal messaging is good, but it's not soul aligned anymore. You can have an ad unexpectedly go viral or flop, triggering a content pivot. You can hear feedback, either good or bad, that invites refinement. You can be called to say something that you've been scared to say publicly. And for me, for example, I've stopped running this dramatic anti-testimonial ad because I realized that that's more geared to my hot audience. So it lands very good for my hot audience and they have no issue paying me. However, I'm running a hot ad to a cold audience and they don't know me and they won't pay me for me to work with them. So there's definitely been a lot of revision and a lot of refining and figuring out what will my cold audience actually like and putting that out there and also refining my sales pages. And through all this refining, I actually got the inspiration to create another funnel. So for me, everything that I shared with you is on point. And here's something to ponder on. What story am I telling the world through my business? And is it still true for who I'm becoming? Secondly, you might notice that old ideas might return for you to revise. Mercury retrograde often brings old clients, opportunities, or ideas circling back. Project you pause, now waiting for a second chance. A realization that past content or offers are still valuable, they just need some sprucing up. Leo in the 10th house is your creative leadership. Mercury retrograde here may ask, are you leading with your own voice or still using someone else's template? Is your content entertaining but missing your deeper why? What parts of your message feel performative rather than truthful? Third of all, this Mercury retrograde could bring an identity crisis or a brand evolution. The MC, especially at 1 degree, is your public title. With Mercury retrograde hovering over here, the title may feel off, outgrown, or stifling. And you might change your job title or brand identity. You might realize that you've outgrown the niche that you've been in. You may feel called to reveal deeper layers of your mission or multidimensionality. You may be called to publicly speak on something you've previously hidden. It may feel like an identity unraveling, however, in reality, it's a re-anchoring. For example, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a mindset coach, I'm not an astrologer, I'm not an energy healer. I'm all of these. And regardless of what knowledge and tools I have, it's always to serve the same purpose. And that's to help me remember who I am and what I came to do this lifetime, and to help my clients remember who they are and what they came here to do this lifetime by any means necessary. So I've stopped calling myself a transformational coach because even if that is true, that I do help people transform their lives, there is a deeper layer underneath it all. And that's helping people return home to themselves. So I started calling myself a soul retrieval coach because that's basically what I do. I help people's souls come back to themselves. And once that integration happens, step by step, layer by layer, they start to remember who they are and why they incarnated again. And just seeing the journey of my clients through the years, remembering who they were, when they walked that door and who they are now, it actually brings a lot of joy because this is my soul's mission, is to help people remember. So just taking some time to notice that and be grateful of what I came here to do and the mission that I chose, it's very inspiring to me. I'm not going to apologize for being emotional because I really do care a lot about my clients. And I'm just going to do my best to move on here because I also wanted to give you this information. So here are some real world tips, especially if you have Leo in the 10th house. Use this time to re-record or refine any sales videos that don't fully capture your fire. Do behind the scenes testing with Facebook ads, new angles, copies, or audiences. Review your brand tone. Is it your true voice or a polished version of someone else's voice? Pitch old contracts or follow up with past collaborations. Mercury loves returning relationships. Get really clear on your origin story or legacy message. And avoid launching something completely new on a whim between July 3rd and August 25th. Also, avoid making major career decisions without reflection. Avoid reacting to negative feedback impulsively. Mercury retrograde in Leo can make criticism feel personal. Avoid overspending on rebrands before your soul message feels clear. Mercury retrograding over your Leo MC is the universe's way of doing a microphone check. And it's saying, are you performing success or embodying your message? You may feel temporarily invisible, misunderstood, or out of sync, and the gifts of this retrograde is alignment over applause. And by late August or early September, you could emerge with messaging and magnetism that is undeniable and deeply true. You're not being called to speak louder. You're being asked to speak with precision, purity, and soul authority. This retrograde is like your inner creative director, which is the Leo part, copy editor, which is the Virgo part, and sacred messenger, which is Mercury itself, all working together to update your public voice so it actually matches the spiritual level you're operating from. In other words, Leo shows you the stage, Virgo hands you the script, and Mercury asks, are you ready to deliver a message that actually lands from your truth, not from your ego? This retrograde is a dress rehearsal for your next level of soul expression. If your voice has felt blocked, overlooked, or misunderstood lately, this retrograde may bring up old wounds around being mocked, silenced, or ignored. It may ask you to reconnect with the original version of you who loved to speak, sing, write, or create. It may help you define what heart-centered confidence sounds like in your voice now. This is all that I wanted to share for Mercury retrograding in Leo. And if you enjoyed this video, I will be releasing a follow-up video with powerful reflection questions designed specifically for this Mercury retrograde in Leo. These prompts will help you identify what is no longer aligned so you can release it and make space for what is aligned with you. I don't share these insights anywhere else, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss it. That video will be live in just a few days, or depending on when you're watching this, it might already be out, so check the link in the description and it might be already there. And if you haven't yet watched the video on the general themes of Mercury retrograde in Leo, or the video that walks you through what to do and what not to do during this retrograde, the links will be in the description below. Each video offers a different angle and they all build off of each other, so I highly recommend watching all three to get the full picture. And until then, I want to thank you for exploring the stars with me, as well as any downloads I might have gotten in the moment and share with you. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a cosmic update. The simple fact of subscribing creates an energy transfer, making it easier for me to connect with your unique vibration. Even if you don't leave a comment, this energy exchange helps me intuitively tune into the collective challenges that you might be facing and create content that speaks directly to your needs. Remember that there is no such thing as time or space in the 5D. This video has reached you at the perfect moment, exactly when your soul was ready to receive the information. And again, if you need an astrological birth chart because you don't know yours, there is a link down below for you to go ahead and create one free of charge. Now, this is important. You need your accurate birth time to do this. Otherwise, you won't know the houses that the signs fall into, and you will only have half of your story. And if you're curious about why the birth time is so crucial, I highly recommend watching my video where I walk you through the reincarnation process and explain why your astrological birth chart is one of the most important tools for understanding your soul's journey. And I'll leave a link to that below as well. Now, if you're ready to uncover exactly what you came here to do this lifetime, you can book a session with me and I will leave that link below. Now, remember, you will need an accurate birth time before scheduling, so I highly recommend calling the hospital where you were born or researching how to obtain it. Some states in the US provide a birth chart with the recorded time, so be sure to check. If this Mercury retrograde or any other planetary alignments are hitting you especially hard and you just want someone to help you go through it, there will be a link below for a free 1 hour strategy call with me. And on this call, we're going to take some time and explore what's going on in your life and give you real clarity on how to move forward. And if it's aligned with both of us, we are going to also have a conversation on how we can continue working together so you don't have to do this alone anymore. And now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments below what was your biggest takeaway and how do you plan to apply it and navigate this Mercury retrograde. And if you have any thoughts or questions, drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, trust the universe and keep looking up.